Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Moxi Monday. If you could please let me know that you can see my screen and hear me, that would be wonderful. We are recording today's session, so you'll be able to receive it anywhere, at any time in our Schmidt video classroom. Okay, good morning and hello to Rob. So today we're actually going to talk about something important within Moxi. And I think it goes along the lines of just making sure you are in touch with the people you're communicating with, so your sphere, right? You're sending things out to them. We want to make sure we're cognizant about what we're sending, how often. We also want to be very considerate and compassionate to those who might not want to receive things from us as well. So I'm going to show you a couple of important things today. It goes along with the ethics of how to handle your contacts. I'm going to show you where you can actually see when people are unsubscribing from you in a way that you can click on it and go into their profile. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you how to take people out completely and then how to add them back if you did it by accident. So I think today's a very important session. So the first thing I'm going to kind of let you guys know is just a couple of things real quick. But as you can see on my screen, this is my contact information. If you need to reach me at any time, you can go ahead and do so. Email, phone, it doesn't matter. So today we're going to be in Moxi Engage, okay? Moxi Engage is the CRM. It's your client relationship management tool. Your people that you have worked with are here. The people you've never met are here. And maybe you just have their information from a Sphere campaign that you got from somewhere. So the important thing is that within our offices, we have material, we have collateral for you to send to them, which is great. But we want to make sure that you guys are selective of what you send to a single person. So for example, we have neighborhood news, which is a great Sphere-based thing that can be sent out very easily. It's already ready. You just have to add people to it. We have listing and sold announcements in Engage. We also have marketing campaigns that are ready to go. And you can also create custom emails that can go out to your Sphere or individual people as well. So that's all very important. But the thing is that you have to be selective. You can't just throw everybody on everything. Maybe you can do like a neighborhood news for everybody because that's very specific to a specific zip code or a street for someone. So that's going to be relevant to them anytime, whether they're a buyer or a seller or even a renter. That's relevant anytime because if you sent that to me and it was my neighborhood or my street, it's going to give me the information from my neighbors, which affects my home. So I'm always going to be comfortable receiving that. So maybe that's good for everybody in your sphere, whether they're contact that you've worked with before or not. Now, the other thing is maybe even if you have them on a neighborhood news campaign, maybe you can actually put them on one single marketing campaign, especially if they're a contact that you have not worked with before. Having that drip campaign can be good as well. But what I would like for you, well, not would like, I'm going to tell you all do not add them to every marketing campaign we have and neighborhood news and the listing announcements. You guys, that is overkill. And it can feel and be harassment. And we've had a couple where people just kind of threw it all in there. They just threw everybody on and all these contacts, getting all these different emails. And that is just not the ethics that we want to uphold. So what we want to show you today is I'm going to just jump in the back end. I want to show you where people are unsubscribing and letting you see it. Because what I don't want to have happen is have you guys have them on multiple campaigns. Then they unsubscribe themselves, just they're not in the mindset to get things done. That's fine. That's good that we know that. But they continuously get campaigns and then they get frustrated and then they contact you or your manager and say, listen, I unsubscribed. You're still contacting me. Stop, right? We want to avoid that. The reason that is happening, just so you guys know, well, first of all, contacts will unsubscribe themselves if they get too many. It's going to happen. But they will continue to get everything you have them signed up for, even if, and they can rightfully get upset, but if they unsubscribe from one, especially the Moxi, the Engage campaigns themselves, it will only unsubscribe them from that specific campaign. So if you have them on 4 different marketing campaigns and they've only unsubscribed themselves for one, they would never know they're on different campaigns. They would just think you're continuing to give them to them after they did not ask for it. So that's why it's important here that we can actually show you for you guys to see how it works in the system. And just so you guys know that if a contact unsubscribes from something that you send them, it does not delete their contact profile and Engage. So as you can see on my screen, I have provided here, I just created a fake contact named Jacob Smith. If for some reason I had him on a campaign and he unsubscribed himself, it would keep the contact for him here. So it's not like he's deleting himself. It would just remove him from that campaign. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to take this example right here, Jacob Schmidt. The first thing is when you get in here, I want you guys to see his individual activity tab. So every specific person has their own individual activity tab, which is good. Let's just go ahead and let this load. Give me 1 second, let me find him again. Let me refresh my screen. There she goes, Jacob Schmidt. Okay, so on the left-hand side, the activity tab shows everything that's happened on this particular profile with yourself as the agent or the contact sphere person as well. So I'm clicking on activity, and this is a really great overview of everything. So as you can see, we created his profile, sent him neighborhood news 44136. So he was sent that 3 days ago. See how it timestamps itself? And then what I did is I went in here, and then you can actually see that Jacob already opened it. So you're seeing that activity. And it will actually show you in here if he unsubscribes. However, you know you're not going to go into every profile every day. So I'm going to give you a way to look in 2 places to see who's unsubscribing in a mass way instead of individual profiles. So I wanted to show you something here as well. And this goes along the lines with sending them multiple things. If you can see here, it says, if you see where my little cursor is right now, I sent him a neighborhood news campaign for the zip code of 44136. I also went in and subscribed him to a different neighborhood news campaign with a different zip code, okay? So you can't just get lost on what you're doing for people, because you can actually go in and see that you might have accidentally sent them 2 different things or too many, or maybe it was intentional because they want 2 different zip codes, but this is just one way to look at an individual overall profile. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at our dashboard. So as you can see, I'm in Engage. But then within Engage, our navigation system says agent, dashboard, people, calendars, goals, and my campaigns. The first thing we're going to look at, excuse me, is the dashboard. This is what's going to load when you first click on Engage. It's the overall snapshot of kind of everything that's happening within all of your sphere contacts. So the one thing you'll see here is the activity feed, okay? It's going to give you the name of the contact, what happened in that activity, and it's going to tell you the time. Concept here is there are 600 people in my CRM, and this is going to just tell me the people who actively moved with whatever I sent them. They opened it, they activated, whatever. That's going to tell me that. Okay, but I want you to see here, this isn't clicking. Okay, so I don't want you to think this is just an overall view and not going to help you and make you have to sit here and go into each and every one. Clearly, this all says Elizabeth Glass, but for you guys, these would be different contact names. Let me show you the other area. That's the important thing that you guys might not know is even there. Okay, so we're in again, Engage. Now, if you actually click on campaigns right here, there's going to be a My Campaigns tab, a Neighborhood News tab, and a Listing Announcements tab. Now, with the My Campaigns tab, I'm going to go ahead and click on the one that's currently running. Now, I only had this on here as a tutorial to show you guys. So normally this would be populated with a lot of numbers because I would have many people on this campaign. This is a good one, by the way, the pet one. People always love the cats and the dogs and all that stuff, so they open them. Now, here's the thing. When this is populated, it will show you how many people are on it. It tells you the open rate. So I am fully understanding if I sent this to 600 people, how many people are opening it. So I'm not only saying how many people are opening my email, this email that I'm sending to them, but are they also subsequently clicking on the link that's within that email, sending them to my website or whatever. Okay, so I'm getting a good understanding of whether my time in this campaign is working for me or not. It's also going to tell me who has unsubscribed. See how this one's blue? If somebody did unsubscribe from this specific campaign, I would be able to click on this and it would give me, a list of all of the people that have unsubscribed from that campaign. So that was one way you can take a look as far as campaigns. So this way, I'm just telling you, if you have people set up right now on many campaigns and neighborhood news, please take the time today or tomorrow to go in and take them off the campaign. You only want to have them on selective campaigns so it's not overkill. Do not have them on everything. It doesn't work in your favor and they don't buy a house from you, they get annoyed. So that's how you can look at it here. Now, if I'm actually here in this campaign and I click on it, because let's see, you see I have 2 people in here to show you as an example, and I open it up, there's an area here that says recipients. If I then click on edit recipients, and this is after it's running, I can come in here and I can remove them. So for example, if I had this one right here, Jacob Schmidt on many campaigns, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take them off 3 of them because 4 of them is too many. I can come in here and then I can very quickly click remove and take his name off. And it makes it easy for me to see who's on what campaign. Let me go ahead and hit cancel. Okay, so let's go back into where we just were. I'm going to go back. So this is the campaigns page. So that's the individual campaign. So you'll be able to see who's unsubscribing from there. So if you get that email or that phone call that says, listen, I've been trying to unsubscribe you and it's not happening, what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to look and see how many campaigns are on, and you're going to go ahead and take them off, individual ones you don't want them on. Next right here is neighborhood news. So this is also going to give us all of the stats. How many people opened it? So right now I just have 3 on it. I'm at a 66.7 rate. There are 8 opens, and it gives you those information as well. In addition to that, we also have the unsubscribe rate, right? So we also have the unsubscribes that are happening here. Now, if you notice, this is where I like it, because not only does it tell you everything activity-wise. So if I had, let's say I had 600 people set up to neighborhood news, and it went out yesterday. This is going to give me all the activity that happened from them. If you haven't sent one out for a while, you're still able to come in here and look at the last time it was sent. So I've had this happen where an agent didn't realize it, but they had somebody on so many campaigns. And I came in and was like, oh yeah, you know what? That person was right. They are absolutely right. I can see they're on neighborhood news. I can see they're on campaigns. Let's go ahead and make this better for them. Now, what you can do right here, I want you to notice this is all clickable, all of these. So let's say there's 2 different names or 3 different names in here. I don't have to go back in and manually look somebody up. I'm going to be able to come in here and then click on Jacob, and it's going to take me into his individual profile. So it's just going to help me manage it a little bit better. The exact same concept applies for listing announcements. So for those of you who don't know how this works, you are obviously already connected through your Moxi Engage account to your MLS. So when you actually put a new listing in the MLS, it actually works intuitively with Engage. It creates a listing announcement. And when you set people up for a listing announcement, you add them to your campaign, they will automatically get that listing announcement with you doing nothing at all except putting it in the MLS. We also have the sold announcements as well. When you update it in the MLS that listing is sold, it will then feed through, work with Moxi Engage, and create that sold announcement as well, and it's going to go out to your sphere. So this is automated stuff happening in the background. That's why we need these areas for you to see what's happening, because you're not sitting there day by day and actually sending it out yourself. It's kind of like your admin doing it, but this is how you can manage control as well. So you're going to be able to see your unsubscribe rate, all of that information, and exactly the same thing as here, where this is now clickable, so you can go into that as well. So let me go in here. I want to go make sure I took some notes today, make sure we can get all of it in there. My honest opinion here is that in due diligence as a realtor, you should make it a point to check these areas periodically. And if you see someone has unsubscribed from one, you can check to see if they have multiple campaigns. So even if they have not called you yet, okay, it is in due diligence that you say, okay, they've unsubscribed from this one, so they may not want anything from other campaigns, because they're not going to know they're not unsubscribing. They think they're unsubscribing from everything. So you'll, that way you'll be able to do that for them, and you won't have any issues with them calling or anything like that. You can also stop neighborhood news and listing announcements on the contact's profile itself. So I showed you how to stop and get them out of my campaigns, but when I go back to their individual profile and people, my people, so if I go back into Jacob, I can actually take them off of the announcements right here. So if you look on the left, we have a subscriptions area. You can actually take people off of neighborhood news and remove them from that campaign right here. So all I would do is click on this. And if you see, it has all the activity here, but if I clicked on details, I'm able to then hover over this section here and I'm able to remove it all together. So again, like I said, due diligence. If I'm going to just be very focused on doing the highest level, I would maybe set a time in my calendar, like once a week or something like that, with a cup of coffee for 3 minutes. I'm going to come in and check these areas. And then if somebody is requesting for me to take them out, I'm going to go ahead and do that for them. Same thing applies with the listing announcements there. Also, you can remove contacts altogether. So let's just say they're like, you know what, I'm not interested at all, and you just want to make sure you take them out of the system altogether. That happens on their individual profile at the very bottom. So if you guys can take your eyes to the bottom left, remove from Engage. Here's the thing. If you have them on 5 campaigns and listing announcements, neighborhood news, and you remove them from Engage, it's actually subsequently not only just taking them out of Engage, it's also going to then cease all communication. They will get no campaigns at all. So you don't, if you're going to take them out completely, You technically can just hit remove. It will pull them out from all the subscriptions. But if it was me, I would still go in here and check, just browse over it to make sure they're not still showing up in any of the other areas, because they will be pulled out of there completely. And then this profile will go away. Now, what if you accidentally, there's another way to take them out as well. So let's go back to the main page, okay? So this is our main page for our landing page for Engage. If we want to engage people, my people, this is where all of our contacts show up. Right now, I have it minimized here to Jacob. The secondary way that you can actually remove people is just by simply clicking the box to the left of their name and then clicking remove. Now, if I did that, it's going to say, why do you want me to remove them? And then I'm able to click one of these options and then hit remove on the bottom right. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's how you take them out. Those are the two different ways you remove them completely from your sphere. Now, what if you accidentally take somebody out and you didn't mean to, or you didn't want to? Here's the cool thing. We can put those babies back in there, but there's a step you have to do so it doesn't happen automatically. It's something you manually have to do. If I take my eyes to the top right, underneath my profile icon, there is a gear. Clicking on that then allows me to click manage review. Now, the good thing is in here, I mean, I do have to scroll. It's going to take me some time if I got rid of a whole bunch of people, like I can show you here as an example. But if I wanted to say, okay, this was an accident here, I would be able to go ahead and hit restore. And now immediately they're back into my CRM. So it's a very good system. You guys just have to understand how it works, like I just showed you. So you can then have the highest level of marketing to the people that are receiving your contact, but also make sure you're actually communicating with people who want you to be. That's key. I think that's pretty much it. I want you guys to jump into the chat box now and ask me any questions you have while you have me on there. But basically, that's the basis of it. Making it pretty simplistic. Make sure that you are thoughtful and cognizant about how many campaigns you're sending to somebody. And then in the events that you're scheduling for yourself on a weekly basis, what you would do is start off maybe in your dashboard. If you're just coming in once a week to check, or every couple of days, hit here. Then you can see in your activity very quickly. I can get an overview of what the activity level is. This helps me know where and who to focus on. Campaign section, and I'm going to hover over my campaigns. See if I have any unsubscribes, neighborhood news, unsubscribes, and listing announcements. Here's the key. If you're doing this once a week and you held your own self accountable for this, you're putting yourself into your business. You're making yourself go here. If you only go to Engage when you have a client, you're not using the system to the best of its ability to help you get business. By forcing yourself to do this for you guys, you're going to also say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not getting as many clicks as I want on this campaign. This isn't going to work for my sphere. So I'm going to pause this campaign and I'm going to look to see what other content is now in here and then add them to a new one. And I'm telling you that because we actually have the new Moxi platform that's rolling over. I think, what did we say? The 23rd is our new date. When it rolls over, it'll be no change to you, except we will have new contacts, new content in this campaign center. So now is a good time, since I'm telling you this, jump in, see who's unsubscribing from you, look at your campaigns. If you're not happy with the click rate, and if you want something that's going to perform better for you, keep your eye on it. When it rolls out in the next week or so, pause these campaigns, get them on new ones, refresh, new year, new start, right? I think that's it. Let me jump in and make sure I don't have any questions in the chat box. So far, I am good, but pretty simplistic today. And again, you can remove them and then we can add them back as well. That is all I have for today, guys. If you have any more questions on this or anything in reference to the rollover that's going to happen soon, please reach out to us. Your ASC, RSC, or anyone on the training team can help you with that as well. Again, excuse me, I am Elizabeth Glass. I hope you have a great day and a blessed rest of your week. Bye, everyone.